Jake. The doctor thought you'd be out of it for most of the day.
Not a chance. No way I'd sleep through Parker's trial. Please, please tell me you have good news.
The Chicago cops, they put out an APB. But no one found a woman matching the description I gave.
Damn it, without a witness, there's no way to prove the kid was in Oakdale the night Sam was shot.
I can't do it, Jack. I can't sit in that courtroom while the judge sends Parker to Statesville. I'm going to Chicago.
You think you can find her?
I have to try. If I go, Parker's gonna need you. Do you think you're strong enough to go to the trial?
No. No, I'm going with you.
Ah, there you are. Just in time. I've made all your favorites.
Looks like you could use a little help with this tie here, buddy.
Sage and JJ were running late for school, but Sage wanted to give you that chain.
I know my big brother is innocent, and soon everyone will know too. Right.
JJ left his lucky rabbit's foot for you. He thought you should have it in court today.
You know, I wish everyone would stop trying so hard to make me feel better. Because I'm going to jail, and a rabbit's foot isn't gonna change that.
There you go. You got your bacon, eggs, pancakes, and chocolate chip muffins.
Yeah, the guilty man's last meal.
You're gonna need all your strength for today.
Thanks, but I'm not hungry.
Parker, I spoke to your dad. He and your mom are working on a possible lead.
What's the point? I shot Sam. Nothing's gonna change that.
You're still trying to prove that there was a second shot. The one that killed Sam.
What are you saying? They're not gonna be there when I testify?
We will all be there for
Oh,
you.
forget it.
Hey. Where are you going?
You are in absolutely no condition to be running around looking for a witness.
Carly, you can't do this alone. You tried. We both promised Parker that he wouldn't go to jail. As long as the judge hasn't reached a verdict, we still have a chance. Now, we can stand here and argue, or we can get to work. Now grab my pants.
I hope this wasn't a mistake, Jack. That nurse was not too happy with you signing yourself out like that without doctor's orders.
I feel fine. I'll feel better when we find that witness and get the evidence to clear Parker.
I don't know. I'm worried. I searched everywhere yesterday, Jack. What if we can't find her in time?
We'll find her, Carly. We have to.
What, are you running away?
Well, everyone keeps trying to make me feel better, but now, even my mom and dad aren't coming to court today.
Really? Why not?
They still think that they can prove that I'm innocent and that I didn't kill Sam. They just can't believe that their son is guilty.
Parker, do you remember what I said to you last night about having faith?
Yeah.
You trust me? Come on. See how lucky you are? Have all these people here who love and support you today?
Well, what about you? Are you gonna be there?
I would like to be. I mean, if it's okay with everybody.
Yeah, of course you should come. Parker wants you there.
All right, well, if I'm going to go to court, I need a decent breakfast, and if you're not going to eat that, I will.
Yeah, it's mine. Get your own.
Looks like you were hungry after all.
Yeah, I guess it was okay.
Okay, everyone. I think we better start to get ready. We don't want to be late.
He's gotten so tall.
Do I look big enough to go to grown-up court?
You look like a Snyder. You look like a decent, upstanding young man who wouldn't hurt anyone intentionally.
Sure the judge will think that, too.
Thank you.
You sure you're strong enough to do this?
I'm a little stiff. I'm more concerned about you, though. That phone call with Parker was pretty rough.
Yeah, it was. Our son is on his way to testify in his own murder trial, and we're not there. Next time I talk to him, I want to give him good news.
And let's get busy.
She wasn't at the shelter. And she wasn't at the scenic shop, Jack. It's like she disappeared.
Okay, so we'll keep canvassing the area. Carly, we're not giving up.
I recognize that coat.
Where?
That woman, she just turned the corner, Jack. I think it's her. Wait! Wait, please. It's her!
Tom and the DA are conferring with the judge.
You ready, Parker?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Why don't you indulge her, Aunt Emma, and we'll go inside and say a little prayer, okay?
Tom, I didn't want to worry Parker, but I heard about what happened with Nevins. Thank God everyone's all right.
Well, we're just trying to keep that thing quiet. Margaret wants to tell Jack and Katie herself.
I don't think they've heard yet.
Well, I feel pretty good that this guy can't hurt my family anymore.
Are you okay? Going through with all this?
We gotta do this, Holden. Nevin's brother raped Margot. We have to make sure that Parker isn't punished for protecting his mom against the exact same thing.
I wish my mom and dad would get here. It's not like they're gonna pull some kind of last-minute miracle.
They haven't given up on you. Don't you give up on them.
Well, the judge does want this wrapped up by today, so whatever Jack and Carly are doing, they should get a move on.
All rise. Oakdale Superior Court is now in session. Judge Harold Rice presiding.
Be seated. Resuming the case of the state of Illinois versus Parker Snyder. Does the defense wish to call another witness?
We do, Your Honor. The defense calls the defendant, Parker Snyder.
This is her. This is the woman who knows Kit.
Let go of me.
No, I'm not letting you go anywhere until you talk to us.
Listen, we don't want to start any trouble. We just need information.
I already told this lady all I know, and I gave her that receipt from Kit's coat.
We just need a little more help. We need you to think back. Did Kit tell you anything about her boyfriend, Sam? She mentioned anything about a shooting?
Kit was good to me. We were friends. And I never speak ill of the dead.
So you do know something?
Please. What's your name?
Ruby.
Ruby. I'm Carly. This is Jack. Remember, I told you about our son, how his life, his entire future is at stake here. I'm begging you, please, did she confess to you that she killed her boyfriend, Sam Hutchins?
Parker, would you tell the court where you were and what you were doing on the night that Sam Hutchins was shot?
I was at a hockey game with my dad, but the whole time I had this really bad feeling that my mom was in trouble.
Really? Why were you worried about your mom?
I knew Sam was planning to do something bad to her.
Objection. Unless he had psychic powers, how could the defendant have known in advance?
Overruled. The district attorney will have a chance to cross-examine the witness.
This bad feeling that you had, why did you think it was Sam's intent to do something bad to your mom?
I overheard him arguing with a guy about firing his band. He fixed it so that he'd have to stay back and cover for them while his girlfriend Kit was out of town. That would leave him and my mom alone.
And you knew that he would do anything he could to be closer to your mom?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Sustained.
Well, did Sam ever threaten you?
Yeah, a lot. He always told me that no matter what I did, he'd find a way to be with my mom, and that I couldn't stop him.
And you'd do anything in your power to stop that from happening?
Yeah, I knew he was planning to do something bad to my mom, and it turned out I was right.
Well, you and your dad called Metro that night to check on your mom to see how she was doing, right?
Yeah, and she said she was fine, and that she was coming home. And my dad believed her, but she didn't sound right to me. My dad made me go to bed, but I couldn't sleep. I just had this really strong feeling that Sam was gonna hurt her.
Are you okay?
So, what did you do next?
I snuck out of the house. I rode my bike back to the farm, and I got the rifle that my aunt keeps locked up. I know where she hides the key to the gun cabinet. Then I took the gun, and I went to Metro.
What did you see when you got there?
Sam was... he was hurting my mom.
I know this is hard for you. Can you tell us what he was doing?
He had her pinned. She was struggling. I was trying to push him off of her. I could tell he was trying to hurt her.
Hurt her? How?
He was gonna rape her.
And what did you do to stop Sam from raping your mom?
I shot him.
Answer me. Did Kit tell you that she shot Sam? You gotta tell me the truth.
Carly, you're scaring her. I know you were friends with Kit, and she was nice to you, I get that. But our son is on trial right now for a crime we believe he didn't commit. We don't have a lot of time to save him. His entire future could be in your hands. Please, is there something, anything you can tell us about Kit or the night in question?
It's cop talk. You're a cop?
Yeah.
I don't live by a lot of rules. I got one. I never talk to no cop.
No, Ruby.
You shot him. Do you remember how many times you pulled the trigger? You okay to go on?
Yeah.
So when you fired the gun, at that moment, were you trying to kill Sam?
No, I was just trying to keep him from hurting my mom.
Can you remember how many times you fired the gun?
Really focus, concentrate, and visualize what happened. Take it step by step.
I only fired the gun once.
Objection. This contradicts the defendant's previous sworn deposition.
Mr. Snyder, you are under oath. Do you wish to change your answer?
Wait. Yes, Jack is a cop. But he's a father first. And I'm a mother. We are desperate to save our son. Can you understand that?
I had a son. But when I lost my job, I lost my health insurance. My boy got sick and I couldn't afford to take him to the doctor. But I tried to take care of myself, but he just got worse. And by the time I took him to the ER, it was too late. He died in my arms. He was only 6.
Oh, Ruby. Ruby, we are so sorry for your loss.
Can you help us save our son?
Kit told me about that night. She said it was her. She did it. Kit killed her boyfriend, Sam.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. And we don't have much time. We have to hurry, all right? Come on.
Where are we going?
We have to get to in court in time to testify.
No, no way.
Ruby, you have to testify. You're our only hope.
I can't. I already got a record. Murdering and shoplifting. I don't need no more trouble. You can't make me go.
You could go to jail for withholding evidence in a murder case.
Boy, I shouldn't have trusted you.
If you testify for us, I swear I'll do everything I can to protect you.
Yeah? Can you guarantee that? I didn't think so. Folks like you are nothing but empty promises. You get what you want and then forget all about me. I'm not going to court for you or your son.
No, I don't want to change my answer. I only fired one shot.
How do you explain the discrepancy in your previous sworn deposition?
Well, that was right after it happened. I was still freaked out that I'd shot the guy and that he was dead. So when they asked me if it was possible that I'd fired 2 shots, I said yes, it was. And everything was kind of blurry then, but now, I remember everything. I only fired 1 shot. I didn't kill Sam.
So let me clarify. With the 1 shot that you fired, did you want to kill Sam?
No. I just had to keep him from hurting my mother.
I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
You wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're the only one who can prove our son didn't commit this murder. The only one who can stop him from going to jail. Now, I could cuff you, I could drag you into court, I could force you to testify, but I don't want to do that. And you know what? I'm not going to, because I believe you're a good person. You just had a turn of bad luck. I also trust that you know that, and you do the right thing.
Please, Ruby.
Do you know what perjury is?
Yes, and I'm not lying.
It's pretty convenient. Now that you're on trial and your whole future is on the line, all of a sudden your memory returns crystal clear, and guess what? You're innocent.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't hear a question.
Sustained.
Is it true you hated Sam Hutchins? Remember, you're under oath.
I already said that I hated the guy.
Did you hate him enough to kill him?
Life isn't fair. I lost my boy. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
You know what it's like to lose a son. What happened to you and your boy was awful. And I understand that you must be bitter. But think back. You took your son to the hospital even though you didn't have any money. You did whatever you could to help him.
I didn't do it soon enough. I should have brought him sooner. Then maybe they could have saved him.
I know it won't bring your son back. But think about it. You have a chance to save our son.
We're waiting, Mr. Snyder. Let me refresh that crystal clear memory of yours. In previous testimony to a court-appointed psychiatrist, you swore you wanted Sam dead.
I said that I wanted him out of our lives.
Permanently, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
In other words, you wanted him dead. In that same sworn testimony, you said it was possible that you could have fired the shot that killed him. Is that what you said? Yes or no?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down. Does the defense have any other witnesses to call?
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Very well. Now I will hear closing statements. Mr. Hughes?
Parker Snyder warned his mother and father about Sam Hutchins because Hutchins had threatened Parker, told him that he would not stop until he got what he wanted. Well, Parker's parents didn't believe him, so he decided to go check on his mother by himself. He took a gun because he knew Sam was dangerous and he could not overpower him by himself. And when he saw his mother being assaulted, he did what anyone else in this room would have done. He shot him, not to kill him, to stop him. So Parker fired his gun once, first. The second shot is the one that killed Sam. He is innocent and should be exonerated.
There is no evidence to show that anyone else other than the defendant and his mother was at Metro that night. The defendant testified that he brought a loaded gun to the club. He admitted under oath that he hated the victim. wanted him dead. The defendant has a history of juvenile delinquency, running away. A man is dead. Parker Snyder is responsible and deserves to be punished to the full extent of the law.
I'll take a brief recess to deliberate before rendering my verdict.
All rise.
I guess my mom and dad will be here when he finds me guilty.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll testify for your boy.
You won't regret this. I promise.
Thank you. Come on, we don't have a lot of time.
Even if my mom and dad do get here now, it's too late, right?
No. Don't lose hope.
Yeah, it's pretty hard right now.
The truth. What do you think his chances are?
In spite of what I just told him, given this judge's sentencing record, not good.
They're going to arrest me.
No, they're not after you, Ruby. Carly was going 25 miles over the speed limit.
We don't have time for this. Why don't they allow cell phones in the courtroom? We have to figure out a way to get word to Tom that we are on the way with his star witness.
We can only deal with one problem at a time.
Ma'am, can I have your license and registration?
What are you doing? You can't use that in here.
Well, I've never been good at following rules.
Have you heard from Jack?
They're not gonna make it, are they?
What's that?
Officer? Yeah, I'm Detective Jack Snyder from the ATWT. Listen, I'm working a murder case. I got a witness back here whose testimony could be key in overturning the charge. So we need to get back to the courthouse in Oakdale ASAP before the judge rules.
Why do you say so? I'm not gonna write you a ticket.
Thank you.
Not so fast.
What now?
You should let me give you a police escort.
What did my dad say? Did they find any evidence? Never mind. We've got nothing.
Don't give up.
Thanks.
Please tell me that Jack and Carly are not going to let him down.
Okay, well, let's just say I have more confidence in them than I do in my cell phone carrier.
All rise.
Please be seated. After carefully considering all the evidence and testimony, I've reached a verdict. Will the defendant please rise? I realize there were extreme circumstances in which this shooting took place. Nevertheless, the fact remains that Parker Snyder went to get a loaded rifle and brought it to that club on the night in question. That shows premeditation. And despite Mr. Snyder's testimony today, I see no hard evidence to contradict his previous sworn testimony about his intent to kill Sam Hutchins and his acknowledgement that he could have fired the second fatal bullet. Therefore, I must find the defendant guilty as charged.
You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. Your Honor,
I have a witness who can prove that my son did not kill Sam Hutchins.
The verdict has been reached. This is outrageous.
A young man's life is at stake here, Your Honor.
Who is this witness?
A woman who can testify to what really happened that night in Metro.
Why didn't she come forward earlier?
We only just found her.
If you hear what she has to say, I know you'll realize our son is innocent.
This is highly unusual. Given the defendant's age and the circumstances of the crime, I'll allow it.
The defense calls Ruby Fisk, Your Honor. How did you know Kit Fowler?
Well, I don't have a home right now. I live on the street, and Kit started talking to me, and she gave me clothes, and we got to be friends, and then she told me about what she'd done.
And what had she done?
She killed her boyfriend, Sam, and was letting this boy, Parker, take the fall.
Your Honor, this is hearsay.
Overruled. You will have your chance to cross-examine the witness.
And how did she kill him?
Kit went to see him at some nightclub she owned.
Metro?
Yeah, that's right. And she'd gone back to check up on Sam because she thought he's fooling around on her. And when she got there, he was all over her business partner.
Carly Tenney, Parker's mom.
Yeah. And she was about to bust in when she saw the boy.
Parker Snyder?
She saw Parker shoot Sam in the shoulder and drop the gun. And when he and his mother ran, Kit picked up the gun and finished Sam off.
Your Honor, this is exactly what the defense has maintained all along. Parker Snyder is innocent on the charge of murder.
You may cross-examine the witness.
Why on earth should the court believe you? The defendant's parents brought you in at the last minute. How much did they pay you?
I didn't have to come here. I'm here because I want to save an innocent boy from losing his life.
Your Honor, please. Without evidence to corroborate her testimony, there's no reason to believe her.
She is right, Mr. Hughes.
You mean evidence like this? Yeah. Kit left this in the pocket of a coat she gave me.
Your Honor, this proves that Kit Fowler was using an alias, was disguised, and was in Oakdale on the night of the murder.
None of this changes the fact that Parker Snyder shot Sam Hutchins.
We have never denied that Parker fired the first shot, but it is not the shot that killed the defendant. If he had wanted to, he could have stayed behind and finished the job, but he didn't. He dropped the gun, fled with his mother, and left Kit Fowler there with means and opportunity to finish off Sam Hutchins, which she did, according to this witness.
Miss Fisk, you may step down. I will decide exactly what, if any, punishment Parker Snyder should receive at a future date. For now, I'm reversing the guilty verdict and throwing out the charge of murder in the second degree. The defendant is free to go in the custody of his parents. This case is closed. Court is adjourned.
That's good news. I can't believe it. It's really over. It's over, baby. You're free.